The Galactic Empire ruled over many worlds, was the strongest power in the galaxy. Its soldiers wore shining armor. Their weapons were made with the best technology. Their ships flew faster than anything else. They crushed every enemy that stood in their way. No one had ever beaten them in battle. The leaders of the Empire laughed when they spoke of humans. They believed humans were weak. They said humans used old tools and old ways. They said humans were stuck in the past. To the Empire, humans were no threat at all. But on a dry, broken planet called Selim 9, a small group of humans lived in hiding. They had nothing fancy. They had no ships, no plasma weapons, and no smart armor. They had only each other and the will to survive. They called themselves the last defenders of Earth. Ryan Holt was their leader. He was not young, but he was strong. His face was marked with scars. His eyes showed no fear. He had once been a soldier before the Empire came. He had seen friends fall, had lost his home, but he never gave up. Now Ryan stood in the middle of a small bunker under the ruined city. The ceiling leaked dust. The floor was made of cracked stone. The air smelled like oil and metal. Team was tired but ready. They had prepared for this moment for weeks. Beside him stood Nora Briggs. She was smart and fast. She knew how to send messages, jam enemy signals, and fix old machines. She believed in Ryan. She believed in what they were fighting for. In the corner of the room sat something strange. It was long, black, and heavy. It looked old, worn, and silent. Dust covered it. Some thought it was useless, but Ryan did not think so. It was a heavy machine gun from Earth's past, a Browning M2. No lasers, no lights, no smart sensors, just power. Pure, loud, deadly power. "This is the only thing they won't expect," Ryan said as he looked at it. Nora touched the barrel. "Will it even fire?" Ryan smiled. "It will." The rest of the team gathered around. There were 6 of them. All were quiet. All had seen war. Some were young, some old, but none were afraid. They believed in this last stand. A warning light blinked on Nora's screen. "They're here," she said. The sky above the ruined city turned red as ships entered the sky. Empire troops landed in perfect lines. They marched like machines. They carried weapons that glowed. They laughed as they looked at the old city. A message came through the speaker. A woman's voice spoke in a cold, proud tone. "Surrender. Your time is over. Your weapons are from a dead world." Ryan stared at the sky. "Let's show them how the dead world fights." He pulled the machine gun to the top of the bunker. They placed sandbags around it. Ryan took the gun in his hands. His fingers gripped the trigger. The wind blew dust into his face. He did not blink. Down below, the Empire soldiers moved closer. Their armor shined under the light. They saw the old machine gun. Some pointed at it. Others laughed. Ryan waited. The sound of footsteps grew louder. He pulled the trigger. The gun roared. Fire burst from the barrel. Bullets tore through the air. The ground shook. And in that moment, everything changed. The heavy machine gun spoke with fire. Its loud sound echoed across the ruins. Bullets flew fast and strong. Empire soldiers screamed as the rounds tore through their armor. They had never seen anything like it. Their weapons fired back with bright flashes, but the rebels were hidden well. Sandbags and stone walls protected them. Ryan did not stop shooting. His arms burned from the force, but he held the gun steady. Nora cold and sharp. Nora called out behind him. "Left side. More coming." Ryan turned the gun slightly. The barrel smoked, but it still worked. He pressed the trigger again.
Ow, another wave of soldiers fell.
The ground was full of metal and broken armor. The Empire was confused. Their commanders gave orders, but their troops pulled back. They had trained for energy weapons, not old guns. Their armor could block lasers, but not lead. A machine gun cut through them like nothing. A tall officer from the Empire moved forward. He pointed and shouted. His voice was full of pride. He did not hide. He thought he was safe. Ryan saw him. One short burst. The officer fell. Nora looked at the others. They don't understand. They think power only comes from new tools. One of the younger rebels named Jack laughed. "Let them think that. We'll keep proving them wrong." The Empire changed its plan. Sent flying drones over the city. They scanned for heat. They looked for weak spots. Some began firing from above. Bright bolts hit the ground, throwing dirt and stone into the air. Ryan shouted, "Stay low, watch the rooftops." Nora took control of the signal jammer. She sent out false signals. Some of the Empire drones turned in the wrong direction and hit each other. 2 of them exploded in the sky. The rebels cheered. On the Empire ship above the planet, the Queen watched the battle through a large screen. She sat on a tall chair with guards around her. Her face showed no fear, but her hands were tight on the arms of the seat. She turned to her advisor. "What is that weapon they're using?" The advisor looked down. "A machine gun. It's from old Earth. Very old. It uses metal bullets." The Queen laughed. "They are using toys from the past. This is not a battle. This is a performance." The advisor said nothing more. Back on the ground, the fighting grew worse. The Empire sent in armored walkers. Big machines with legs and heavy guns. They stepped over buildings and fired without mercy. Their weapons hit the bunker, shaking the walls. Noda shouted, "We can't hold forever. They'll crush us." Ryan looked at her. His face was calm. "We don't need forever. We need them to fear us." He picked up a small box beside the machine gun. Inside were old armor-piercing rounds. He loaded them one by one. Each bullet was thick and heavy. The walkers came closer. Dust rose around their feet. Their guns pointed straight at the rebels. Ryan aimed. He fired. The first round hit the front of the nearest walker. The machine shook. The second round hit the leg joint. Sparks flew. The third round struck the power core. A loud bang followed. The walker fell. Smoke rose into the air. The second walker turned and tried to step back, but it was too late. Ryan fired again. The bullets found their mark. Another explosion. The Empire soldiers ran, some dropped their weapons. Others screamed into their radios. Nora stared at the field. "They're scared." Ryan nodded. "Good. Let them be." The machine gun clicked. It was empty for now. But its voice had already spoken. The message was clear. Smoke filled the air above the broken city. Fires burned where the walkers had fallen. Their metal bodies lay in pieces, black and twisted. The machine gun sat quiet for a moment, its barrel hot and smoking. Ryan wiped sweat from his face. His hands were shaking, but his eyes stayed sharp. Nora checked the radio. The static buzzed, but one clear voice broke through. A rebel group on another part of the planet had seen the fight. They asked how old weapons were able to destroy the Empire's best machines. She answered with a calm voice. "They work because we make them work." Ryan walked to the edge of the wall and looked down at the field. The enemy had pulled back, but not far. He could see them hiding behind ruined buildings and walls. He knew they were planning another attack. "They'll send more soon," he said. Nora nodded. "And bigger ones." The rest of the team cleaned their weapons and waited. Jack sat near the machine gun, refilling ammo belts with careful hands. His face looked younger now. Hope had returned to his eyes. "They thought we were broken," he said. "Now they know we can fight." Far above, inside the Empire's command ship, the Queen watched in silence. She was not smiling now. Her eyes were hard. The reports made her angry. Her soldiers had fallen to old bullets. Her machines had been destroyed by hands, using tools from the past. She stood from her seat. "I will go down myself," she said. "I want to see these rebels with my own eyes." Her guards looked at each other but said nothing. When the Queen gave an order, no one questioned it. She entered a small transport ship and left the command center behind. She wore a new suit of armor, made from the strongest metal the Empire had. It was built to stop any weapon. Her helmet covered her face, but her presence was still clear. On the ground, the Empire troops began forming again. This time, they moved slower, more carefully. They scanned the ruins with better eyes. Drones flew in tighter groups. Walkers came from behind hills, keeping their distance. Ryan and the team took their positions again. The machine gun was loaded. Nora handed him a new belt of rounds. It was heavy, but Ryan carried it like it was nothing. "They're coming again," she said. Ryan smiled. "Good. Let them." This time the enemy sent smoke bombs first. Thick white clouds spread across the field. It was hard to see. The rebels stayed low. They listened. They waited. The sound of footsteps came through the smoke. Then came the deep hum of walkers. Ryan aimed into the mist. He saw shadows moving. He waited until they were close. Then he fired. The gun roared again. Flames flashed from the barrel. The bullets cut through the smoke like knives. Cries of pain followed. Metal crashed into the ground. The Empire tried to fight back. Their blasts lit up the ruins. Walls cracked. Dust filled the air, but the rebels kept moving. They knew every path, every hiding place. They struck fast, then vanished. Jack threw a grenade under a walker. The blast sent it crashing down. Nora shut down another drone with her jammer. The rebels fought like wolves. From behind the smoke, a loud voice called out, "Stop firing! Queen walks among you." Ryan paused. The battlefield went still. The smoke began to clear. And there, in the middle of the field, stood the Queen. Her armor shined. Her helmet rose. Her face was calm. She raised one hand. "I have come to speak," she said. Ryan looked at her. The machine gun sat ready. But for now it waited. The Queen stood tall in the middle of the battlefield. Her armor was bright silver, smooth and strong. It covered her from head to toe. Sunlight bounced off the metal. Her face showed no fear. Her eyes scanned the field. Ryan stayed behind cover. He held the machine gun steady. His finger rested near the trigger. Nora stood beside him with her radio in hand. "She wants to talk," Nora said. Ryan did not move. He watched the Queen closely. Around her, Empire soldiers stood in tight lines. They held their weapons, but none were firing. A strange silence covered the city. Queen raised her voice again. "You cannot win. Your old tools will not save you. But I will offer peace. Surrender now, and I will show mercy." Jack laughed from behind a wall. "She thinks we're scared." Ryan spoke without looking back. "She thinks she's already won. She doesn't understand what this fight means." He stepped out from cover, slowly. Dust swirled around his boots. He kept the machine gun pointed down, but ready. He walked to the edge of the sandbag line. "I am Ryan Holt," he shouted. "Ah!" "And we are not surrendering." The Queen tilted her head. "Then you choose death." Ryan smiled. "We choose freedom." The Queen gave a signal. At once, the Empire troops raised their weapons. Walkers moved into position. Drones flew overhead. The ground began to shake. Nora ran to her post. Jack grabbed his rifle. The others got ready. The machine gun roared to life once more. The fight exploded again. Bullets tore through armor. Walkers fired beams that turned stone to dust. The rebels moved quickly, dodging fire and striking hard. Ryan stood tall behind the gun. He fired in short, strong bursts. Each shot knocked back the enemy. The gun was hot, shaking with every round, but Ryan never stopped. A drone dropped from above. Nora hit it with a single shot from her pistol. It crashed near the wall in flames. She looked up and shouted, "They're everywhere." Jack and two others circled around the ruins. They used broken buildings for cover. One Empire soldier tried to flank them. Jack shot him in the leg and pulled him down. The rebel behind him threw a grenade. It landed under a walker. The blast threw metal into the sky. The Queen stood in the middle of it all. She did not move. Her armor took several hits, but she stayed upright. She walked through fire and dust like she could not be harmed. Ryan saw her. He loaded a new belt into the machine gun. These rounds were thicker, stronger, armor-piercing rounds, the same kind that broke the walkers before. He aimed at the Queen. Nora looked at him. "You sure about this?" Ryan nodded once. "She leads them. If she falls, the rest will follow." He waited. The Queen kept walking. Her guards stayed behind. She thought no bullet could reach her. Ryan pulled the trigger. The first shot hit her in the shoulder. Sparks flew. Her armor cracked. She stumbled but kept walking. The second round hit her chest. A loud crack rang out. The armor broke open. She dropped to one knee. The third bullet hit the center of her armor. Her body fell hard to the ground. The field went silent. Empire soldiers looked at each other. Some froze. Others dropped their weapons. Ryan stood with smoke rising from the barrel. The machine gun had done its work. Nora looked across the field. "Is it over?" Ryan did not answer yet. He was watching the enemy. He was watching for what came next. The Queen lay still on the ground. Her armor cracked and broken. The Empire soldiers around her stopped moving. Confusion spread through their ranks like wildfire. Their perfect plan was shattered in a single moment. Ryan watched carefully. His hands were steady even after all the fighting. He lowered the machine gun slowly. His voice was calm but firm. "This fight is over. Lay down your weapons." A soldier near the Queen dropped his rifle first. Others followed. Some kneeled. A few looked at Ryan with anger, but their strength was gone. Their leader was defeated. Nora moved forward with caution. She checked the Queen's armor for signs of life. The Queen's chest rose once, twice. She was alive, but barely. Ryan said, "We do not want more blood today, but we will defend ourselves if needed." The remaining Empire soldiers lowered their weapons fully. Ryan saw fear in their eyes. The pride that once filled them was gone. A young soldier stepped forward. His voice shook. "We surrender. What will happen to us?" Ryan looked at the young man, and then at the others. He thought about all the years of fighting, all the pain they had felt. He wanted to end the war now. "We will treat you fairly," Ryan said. "You will be prisoners, but no harm will come to those who stop fighting." Nora began sending a message to other human groups on nearby planets. "The Empire has fallen here. The humans fight back." The news spread quickly. As more human fighters landed on Selim 9, they joined Ryan's team. Hope grew strong in their hearts. The Queen's soldiers gathered around their fallen leader. Some tried to hide their shame. Others looked ready to fight again. Ryan knew this was the moment to change everything. He spoke to the Empire soldiers. "Your empire was built on fear, but fear will never win. Only courage and hope will." The soldiers looked at each other. They began to lower their weapons even more. Nora cleaned the machine gun while talking to Jack. It was just an old weapon, but it changed everything. Jack smiled. Sometimes the past can fight for the future. Ryan walked to the Queen. He looked down at her broken armor. "You fought well, but it was the people who won today." She opened her eyes slowly. Her voice was soft but clear. "You have shown strength and honor. Maybe this is the start of a new world." Ryan nodded. "It will be, but only if we stand together." The sun began to set behind the ruined buildings. Light spread across the battlefield. The fires burned low. The smoke lifted. The humans who once lived in fear now stood tall. They had proven that old weapons still had power. The courage came from the heart. That no empire could last when people fight for their freedom. Ryan looked at his team. He felt tired but proud. The battle was over, but the war for peace was just beginning. "We have a long way to go," he said. "Today we showed the galaxy what humans can do." The machine gun was silent now, but its voice would be remembered. A message of strength, hope, and the power of those who never give up. The stars appeared in the sky. The future was open, and the humans were ready to take it.